Hello everybody, hope you're doing well today. It is Friday, so Fridays are often a little longer videos. They're Q&A Fridays if people hop on and want to ask questions, or just in general, if you want to change topic, you're totally allowed to from the topic we've had this week. So this week we have been talking about lab work, so it's not the sexiest video topics. I'm pretty much finding that nobody cares that much about it, even though it's like we only care when, like, the day before we get the doctor, the anticipatory anxiety, and maybe in the aftermath. But I find that it feels like it's not the most exciting things to be talking about, educating about. So they don't get, these videos don't get that many views, but that's okay. It's really important that we have a place to land about this topic because it's real life. Probably everybody who watched this video at some point in their life has got their blood drawn to see how things are going in your blood. You know, what is happening with your organ system function. And sometimes we do it more often because as you are letting go of dieting and your eating has become less chaotic, you kind of want to see what's going to happen when the dust settles and you actually do eat food in a way that is in equilibrium with your body system. So you come off of the restrictive and over-exercised and chaotic eating, and maybe you're over here and like kind of needing to eat all the foods. And these aren't the best time to be getting your lab drawn because they're probably going to be off, right? But sometimes we do. So regardless, it's always important, just a little summary, that if you've been over here thinking some things will be off, some things will not be off. It doesn't mean that we want to be in denial that even if your labs are on or off, you also have to look at the big picture. Am I moving compulsively or not at all? And maybe there's a good reason for that you need to be working on with your nutrition therapist. And is my food actually adequate? Is my nutrition intake from the big picture adequate? If not, that may or may not be reflected in your lab values. So we'll talk about that in a minute. If you're over here and eating all the foods place, yeah, your labs might be a little off, or they may not be. Regardless, you still have to work through that period of time. So you might be watching this video thinking, I'm not restricting anything. In fact, I kind of think I might need to because I think me and salads just aren't getting along. I think it's kind of flaring me up. But you might find that there are some foods that you're still eating right now because you just need to find full freedom. And you're dealing with the side effects and you're willing to deal with that. So be it. Eventually we'll get back to equilibrium where we're able to make food changes without it feeling triggering, basically. But in today's video, so we've talked about all those aspects this week, but today we're going to talk about, gosh, Tracy, like, I feel like my eating's pretty set. I'm really in integrity. Like, I'm eating most of the time from hunger and fullness. I'm not in denial if I'm having any places where I might be cutting the edges off, or I'm not really even having any diet thinking, weight loss wishes, all that stuff. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about that, but I still feel kind of blah. And this is where I see a lot of times where people go to the doctor and their lab work looks okay. Maybe you're slightly low in vitamin D, but your thyroid's good. And other indices don't indicate that something's up. You're not anemic, all those kind of things. But, you know, you might be in a period of time where your body is just burnt out and you're tired. And so it may not be that your labs are going to show something, but you know how you feel. And so this is an encouragement today to, one, go get a consult with me or a different nutrition therapist to figure out, is there anything to do with my food? Is this my body just being so burnt out from all these years of being stressed out? And in that case, maybe we can do some enhancements with your food, maybe some supplements, and maybe you need to go entirely in a different direction and get some screenings for some other less obvious stuff. And, you know, that can, I'm not going to talk about all those different things because sometimes those things are scary, but like you kind of know, like, you know, I think I need to get some opinions from past my GP into some specialists based on my symptoms. So I really want to encourage all that. But I also know sometimes people come to me, a lot of people come to me, and I struggled with this too, is like, my body is just tired. I am just tired from like all the working and all the striving and all the trying to recover and doing all the things. And sometimes we just need to go into a period of basically eating as well as we can and some rest. And that might look like cutting back on your accomplishing schedule, your work schedule, or at least delegating as much as you can, because nothing else is showing up. I don't have cancer. I don't have autoimmune disease. I don't have Lyme disease. I don't have any of those things. You've done it all, and you're just exhausted. And if you looked at your day, you would be like, oh, I'm so used to this. I'm so used to this schedule of like, every minute of my day is packed. The weekends are packed. I always feel like I have to be doing something. And when I'm not doing something, I feel anxious. You're probably a candidate for your body is just exhausted and burnt out. And it's time to adjust things. So all that being said, if you are needing some help with learning how to settle yourself, this is a good place for to think about investing in working with a therapist and a dietitian who are trauma integrated, that know how to work with the nervous system. That's just, you're going into functional freeze, and that could be why you don't feel great. You feel like foggy, lack of motivation or energy, and it doesn't match. Like, labs look fine, I don't feel depressed, my food is okay, but nothing really sounds that great. Basically, we got to get you some rest and get the ventral vagal part of your nervous system juiced up again. But that's going to come with like play and safe connection and rest, So I hope this week's videos have really been, I really, again, want to look at the nuance within the big picture of like, get your lab work done. If you're feeling scared about that, role play with a friend, your trusted professional to like work through what your fears are, and give yourself a couple scenarios. Have everything written down on paper that maybe you even want to say. Like, get yourself prepared if you're having anticipatory anxiety that you're going to be fat shamed, or that you feel like something's wrong, so you're avoiding it. We've been talking about all that this week, how to work through some of that. So if you've missed Monday and Wednesday's videos, please go check those out. I'm just summarizing the videos. And then we also talked about like not being in denial, that like even if your labs look fine, but if your life doesn't feel fine, if you feel food and weight and body obsessed, that means there's some work to do mentally and behaviorally and with your nervous system. And then of course today's video about like, even if everything checks out, like nothing seemingly is off, then maybe it's a cue that something not in your blood is off, but in your life is not quite working for everything that your body has been through. And your body is like pushing you at this time. You're like, it's time to slow down. And if you can't let that happen, you're fighting yourself. So again, thank you all so much for watching these videos, whether live or on the replay. Again, these videos I know can be really convicting about being in integrity with really looking at all aspects of your life, and how food and weight are always the red herring, as Anita Johnson says, to feeling like I've got a knee jerk to fix it with food, or I got to avoid because I'm afraid something's wrong, I'm going to avoid the whole thing. And then again, today's video, it's like sometimes it's just the last thing that we're to work on is like really letting ourselves fully inhabit our life and having our life. I know we can't control everything. We can't control what's going on in the world, but we can be in integrity with like, I do run faster than my body would like me to go. I am doing some things and saying yes to some things I don't really want to say yes to or be a part of. And my body is the one indicating that it's too much. My body's not too much, but inside I'm getting signals of too much. So if you're feeling stuck with that, let me know. All right, thank you all so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.